今回の動画でも前回に引き続きどのようにあとどれぐらいヒドロキシクロロキンというお薬が武漢ウイルスに対して効果を上げているのかという生の声と、またどうしてそれが大々的に報道されないのか、どうしてアメリカの CDC がそれをどんどんプッシュしないのかという裏の話にも触れていきたいと思います。この動画を気に入っていただけたらぜひいいねを押していただいて、よかったらチャンネル登録をお願いします。またコロコロウイルスに関してはですね、かなりシャドーバンディングといってSNS などがあまり伝えないようにしているので、できれば周りの人にシェアなどで広めていってあげてください。
Journalist, what you look at is, where's the money trail? Look at where's the money going to be made? How would we make money? Is money a part of this? Is getting rich a part of this? We know that our government's funding it. They're funding it through Fauci. He's really excited about his vaccine. Do you realize what a vaccine for coronavirus would make? Let's just look at when we follow the numbers. If you take an illness that you want to vaccinate the world for, when that vaccine comes, and if that vaccine comes, they want to give it to 7.5 billion people, everybody, because that's the goal of the World Health Organization. 7.5 billion people. Let's just say that the drug costs about $50. It'd be a really cheap vaccine at $50. But let's say it's about $50 to give that vaccine to everybody. The profit to those involved in it, the companies involved, in 1 year, if we roll that out to everyone on the planet Earth, would be $375 billion for one vaccination. Now imagine a world that once we've told everybody in the world you cannot go back to work without this vaccination, you are now enrolled in what I've been telling you is coming for a long time, an adult vaccination program. So not only do we make the $375 billion off of the vaccine being made for coronavirus, how about the 2 MMRs you still need that is already on the adult schedule, and all of the other 15 vaccines, 270 vaccines are now in the pipeline in the final stages of approval, and thousands of vaccines on trial. You see, there is a global agenda led by the World Health Organization involving people like Tony Fauci to move to this future. Now, whether or not you believe in that future, we must all admit that that could cloud your vision a little bit and make you look the other way when a drug looks to be really doing the job to take care of those that are seriously ill. Now, remember, if we can take away the death of coronavirus and leave it as the mild event that they're saying 80 to 90% of us will experience, a common cold, then if we do that, we can walk out into the world and get the common cold and have lifelong immunity. Lifelong immunity is what would happen, is what we're going for in Israel. That would wipe out the need for a product that could make $375 billion in 1 year, potentially. You see, there is a conflict here, and you've got to wonder if we're hearing it straight. Especially when doctors in hospitals that are actually using this, as anecdotal as it may be, sound just like this.
So how beneficial is hydroxychloroquine? Dr. Grace, great to see you tonight. How big a deal would approving chloroquine for the coronavirus be?
Well, everybody is using it now off-label. We have a surge of coronavirus 19 patients throughout the metropolitan area of New York. And the problem is these patients are coming in quite sick. And when they get to a very difficult respiratory status, doctors are using hydroxychloroquine with or without a drug called Zithromax or azithromycin. And that's showing tremendous activity. And we have not had a death in our hospital. We have probably close to 100 patients have not had any deaths. But I've talked to many of my colleagues at other hospitals in New York, and they also are using hydroxychloroquine, although the supplies are running down. We're all using it, especially for desperately ill people. Yeah.
Okay,
we're not using it on everybody, but we're using it on those people who show major respiratory compromise.
Apparently, the WHO, the World Health Organization, has organized a study called Solidarity, and it includes 10 countries, Argentina, Bahrain, Canada, France, and a bunch more. So they're doing a global study on this, and it's already underway. So we should be able to get answers on this pretty quickly. That could be a game changer if what you're seeing, what your colleagues are seeing in Lenox Hill pans out. Because what they're seeing in China and France is stunning results with this drug.
That's true. And I'm hoping that what will happen, the data will come down quickly. We'll get everybody on hydroxychloroquine, go back to work, and put the nation back together again.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Do you realize how gigantic this would be? What they're talking about with chloroquine in the studies and trials, not just happening in New York and in hospitals all across this country, but in China and other countries where they are trying this out, they're watching a reduction from 30 days of being infected with the coronavirus 19 down to 6 days. That is gigantic. That means you get through this disease 5 times faster, right? Now, all of our hospitals in California and New York, and we're going to get deeper into this, are preparing for a future problem, but right now their beds are not overflowing. They do not have an issue. Everything is based on models, and, you know, it's like Chicken Little, the sky is falling here, and they're preparing for it. But the biggest concern is running out of beds, running out of, you know, the respirators that would be available, which is a huge concern. And we know that our nation is ramping up. There are car companies and all sorts of people, you know, retrofitting to make more respirators. But think about this. Even if this is tragic as it looks like it is in Italy and other places, and we're going to get to that in a few minutes, what happens if you're able to move people through those beds at 5 times a faster rate? If they had to be there for 30 days in your hospital struggling for life and on respirators, and you can give them chloroquine and reduce that to 5 days, that bed is free. That means we can move 5 times the amount of people through those beds. And remember, this is really only a tragic situation for a small group of people that are immune suppressed or elderly. Do you see how gigantic this would be? And to imagine that when we move into the future, how do we move forward? We all talked about it last week. It's hanging in the balance. Do we continue to destroy the economy of America right now? Or do we open it up? Does chloroquine give us an opportunity to say, you know what, we can now handle it?
いかがだったでしょうか。結構びっくりするような内容だったと思います。本当はもっともっと長い動画内容なのですが、一人だとどうしても全部翻訳をするというわけにはいかないので、このような短い内容になりました。そしてもし翻訳を手伝える方がいらっしゃったら、私も一人でボランティアでやっているので全く進まず、これを作るだけでも、6時間ぐらいかかってしまったので、もしお手伝いできるよという人がいたら、ぜひともダイレクトメッセージでご連絡ください。お願いします。